It's another edition of The Reset. Make sure you like and subscribe.
It's The Reset with G. Scott.
I don't care if it's preseason, this ain't soccer. Don't nobody want no damn tie. It was a tie yesterday, 23-23. I don't know, it feels like that's how the gods or somebody, that's how they made it. But ain't no way in the world I wanted to walk away with a tie. However, I also didn't want to walk away with a loss. No way in the world I wanted to see that game go down in a loss, and I would have felt some type of way. So before we get this episode going, do me a favor. I don't even know Jalen Gaines. I don't know his Twitter handle or X handle or IG, number 56 for the Seahawks. But can we do me a favor? Can we reach out to Jalen Gaines and let him know thank you? Thank you for that blocked field goal. Thank you for making our Friday feel that much better, because I know they say preseason don't matter, which it don't. But I don't care. It's like playing checkers with your wife. It's all fun and games until you lose. Don't nobody want to lose? I don't want to lose nothing. I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care if it's checkers. I don't care, whatever it is. I don't want to lose. So Jalen Gaines, number 56. By the way, Jalen Gaines, you actually had a nice game. So to seal it with that blocked field goal, thank you, because that football was going to go through the uprights. Well done. I got 3 takeaways that I'm going to get to today. But first, I want to talk about whose stock is going up. And you all saw the game. You can put in the chat on some of the players that you feel the stock is going up. But I want to talk about, now it's no secret, number 15, Torrey Horton, the wide receiver. Yes, his stock's going up, and he's no secret anymore. This kid out of Colorado State probably would have been a first rounder if not for that ACL injury that he had before. This kid is good. Let me tell you how good he is. Going into this season, Mebane, who's not on the show, always is making a comment about how, hey, I think the Seahawks should get on the phone. I think the Seahawks should get on the phone and talk to A.J. Brown and see if they can get A.J. Brown to come in. He's been constantly talking about just not really being solid with the wide receiver room. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I wasn't either. That's true. I wasn't really all that sold. Yeah, JSN, no doubt. And I'll talk about that JSN in a second. Had a great conversation with JSN on the sidelines before the game. But we all have confidence in JSN. And I do think that JSN, after the first 4 games, will be the leading receiver in this offense in the NFL. No doubt about that. But as much as I love Cooper Kupp, I just didn't feel that third receiver. No disrespect to Bobo, no disrespect to Derek Young, no disrespect to MVS, nothing at all. I'm just giving that 1,000% honesty of what I felt about the wide receiver room until Torrey Horton. Oh, man, he did that for me. He absolutely did that for me. It's like when you're getting ready to go to the club or go to that happy hour or go to that get-together and you find that fit, you find that one piece, and you say, ooh, I'm going to hurt him with this. You find them shoes, you find them pants, and you got that. That is Torrey Horton for me when the wide receiver room. They got that piece. And I'm telling you, I'm going to continue to watch him. So we'll see the Kansas City Chiefs game. They'll be at home again against the Chiefs. Watch out for number 15. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm all in on my boy. Another stock that is going up, and another room that I didn't really have as much confidence in as well. That's the running back room. Do I think K9 is good? I actually think K9 is better what he has been. And I've always thought he was good, but he's exceptionally good right now. Training camp, I'm telling you, that boy been switching gears. But obviously, he did not play in that game. He and Zach Charbonnet did not play. But did you see the rest of that room? George Halani, number 36. Remember, he's from Boise State. This is year 2 for George. George was the big bro at Boise State to the Raiders' first-round draft pick and Asher Genty over there. when George was there, Ashton was a freshman. He was big bro. So I'm telling you right now, George is a dog. I think George makes this roster. He saw that run on that touchdown, hit that hole, got that touchdown. Marshawn Lynch gave him a little stiff arm. That was funny, watching Marshawn on the sideline with the camera. But I'm really confident about that running back room, and I'm really confident about his stock rising. So shout out to George Halani as well. Another stock that is rising. One more player I give you, and I can give many, but I'm just going to give another stock. Did y'all see Oots out there? Did you see that dude when he get in that fullback spot and he go, drive that? Oh, my goodness. That boy can block. Fairness to Mebane. Mebane has been saying for 2 years now. He's been telling everybody. Nobody was saying about the fullback and how important offenses are by having the fullback like Mebane. We could pull up the clips of him talking about just that. And you can see in Clint Kubiak's offense, you can see that very thing that's going to happen. We will see the emergence of the fullback. We will see how last year, right? Last year, we have a lot of situations where remember when it was 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 and our confidence level wasn't there about the Seahawks getting that first down? Or remember in the red zone and how the Seahawks struggled in the red zone, right? I think the Seahawks will be so much better, but there's some things that have to go right. But all in all, I love Oots. Oots, I'll give it with your stock going up. So let's get to my 3 takeaways from yesterday's game. And by the way, I'm just glad they didn't lose. The first takeaway is I want to talk about the defense. I was watching something, and not saying that I know this for a fact, because I don't. I haven't talked to any defensive coaches or Coach Mike McDonald, but I saw something early, and when you all get a chance, I don't know if you guys watched the All-22, and when you guys get a chance maybe to go and maybe watch the game again, that defense, even though the starters weren't in, they were doing things. They were disguising coverage. The defense for the Seahawks were totally in their bag. I believe right away the Seahawks and Mike McDonald was like, yeah, we got it all dialed in. If we really want to, we can keep these dogs on you. The Raiders had nothing for that defense. And what I saw early on was Mike McDonald and that defense was like, okay, we're going to put it on them and then we're going to chill, right? They put it on them and then went vanilla the rest of the way. And I know that it's no secret. This defense has been talked about. This defense has been like probably the strongest thing, even training camp, even from my eyes and maybe your eyes as well. But I got to tell you, after game 1, my takeaway is I am more excited about this defense after that game than I was before, and I didn't even see the starters. Because the reason why I'm excited is because of the depth. We always heard the philosophy of next man up. And fortunately or unfortunately in football, hey man, there's always a situation where a starter might go down and it's a next man up. I feel really good about the depth that the Seahawks have. I love Josh Jobe, number 29. Hey fella, you special. I see you. I love the depth, and I also love the scheme. I think Mike McDonald be in his bag. I'm talking about be in his bag eating when it comes to this. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, especially come game 1 against the 49ers. I think it's important. It's got to get, I think the first 2 games of this season are really important. Really important. That rivals game against the Niners, and then you fly away to Pittsburgh. First 2 games, crucial, right? So that's my first takeaway. I think the defense is going to be incredible. My second takeaway is, I think that Drew Lock is a really good quarterback. Now, I know he's been in the league He's been here before. He spent last year not here, and now he's back. But I feel really good about Drew Lock. I just don't know how that goes as far as keeping 3 quarterbacks. But I'm going to give my honest opinion on takeaways. Watching Drew Lock throw those receivers open. So it's one thing to be open and throw it. But the way he throws them open, the veteran, the poise, the way he goes through his progression, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, he's really good, no doubt. As for Jalen Milroe, it's been a while. It's been some years since I've seen. Matter of fact, Russell Wilson was special in running the football, especially early on when he first got here in 12, 13, and 14, right? The RPOs and all those things that he would run. He was special, no doubt. But Russell didn't have the speed that Jalen Milroe has. That dude has speed. So I'm really curious as to how they will play him. Will they use it as like a Taysom Hill, by the way, right? How they'd use Taysom Hill. But it's hard to not want to use a Jalen Milroe, just seeing him out there up close and personal. And I'm like, ooh-wee, that's a different gear. I think even on TV, you guys can see the way Jalen Milroe's move. Ooh, that's a different story. And my third takeaway is I'm more excited about this team after that game than I was going into it, and I'll tell you why. I can see the youth, the hunger, the physicality, the chemistry. I can see it all. And not saying that I'm some type of guru or some type of expert, but how about this? I'd argue this. I've been around the Seattle Seahawks organization for 22 years. I have seen players come and go. I've seen coaches. I've seen the different eras of what has happened. Sometimes I didn't know then, obviously, what I know now. I can only look back on what I saw. I was there when the Seahawks were just starting out, when Cam Chancellor or Richard Sherman or Bruce Irvin or Doug Baldwin or Jermaine, when all of these players weren't yet household names. Granted, I didn't know that something special was brewing, but I do know, as someone who was there 4 or 5 days a week, I can recall what was happening, the type of energy that was happening then. Pete, John Schneider, they built, you guys know this, they built something amazing. I actually feel that same vibe right now happening. And I'm going to be very specific why I feel that vibe. I think that running back room, special. I think the wide receiver room right now, youth, dogs in there, special. The room that I'm really the most excited about is the tight end room, special. I would argue that A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo will be the most special two-piece in the NFL this season. When them boys go to 12 personnel, when the both of them on the field, the Seahawks, Clint Kubiak, they gonna cook. They gonna cook. So this offense, which we've already, look, the defense on paper, that's no secret. You guys know what they have on defense. We've been talking about them. We have just been unsure about the offense. At least I have been unsure, and I feel a little bit better. Now, with that being said, I'm ready to get married. Everything lines up for me. But there's only one thing that needs to happen, is I need to ask the daddy to marry her. I need to ask the daddy to marry her, and what do I mean by that? I need to find out what Sam Darnold gonna be about this year. That is my ask the daddy to marry her. Everything on this offense is there. Sure, there's one more other piece, but first, the guy that has the ball in his hands, the majority of the time. The quarterback position, I think we all can agree, is the most important position on the field. If Sam Darnold doesn't even have to be spectacular. He doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have to be Josh Allen. He doesn't have to be Lamar Jackson. All he has to do is just be turnover free, get the ball to your playmakers in space, do exactly what Clint Kubiak wants you to dial up, and I think they'll be fine. Now, yes, the obvious is the offensive line. I thought Gray Zabel looked good out there, by the way. There's some plays where he was a little bit sticky on them defenders. But sure, the offensive line, the continuity, the chemistry with them, and I'd argue right now is the most important position on that offensive line will be the center. The center will be the most important thing. But going back, I feel really good about this offense. And this is the first time, and you guys, if some of you all have been watching the podcast, and some of y'all, this is your first time watching. But for you all that have been watching the podcast all season, all during this preseason so far with training camp, how many times have I come on here and told you I feel really good about the offense? This is the first time. Some people have been asking me, why am I so negative? It's not that I'm negative, it's just hard for me to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything's great all the time. It is what it is. Now, sometimes you might like my opinion. Sometimes you might not like my opinion. Sometimes my opinion might be the same as yours. But as of today, right now, until further notice, I'm ready to marry this offense. I like what I see so far. I like the youth. I like the energy. And this energy right now, I'm not trying to compare, but I only have one. I've never been around other NFL teams, so I can only compare energies to what I have seen over the last 22 years. And this energy, this youth, this energy right here reminds me of yesteryear when the youngsters came in, when all of the youngsters were really a lot part of this team. And the old guys that were on this team that were considered old was my man Mebane, who's not on the show, and I hope he doesn't see this, would be Mebane and the Red Bryants. Those were the holdovers from the Pete Carroll era that stayed with the momentum that was happening with the John Snyder and Pete Carroll built teams. And I just feel it. And as a matter of fact, I think the 12s in the building, and here's one of the things that I start, and by the way, this is the start to the 50th season of Seahawk football, right? They're over at Lumen Field all season long. They plan to honor everyone, past players, past and present. They want to honor them for all of the contributions that they have made to this organization to make them number one in the NFL. But with that being said, I think what I felt in the building and the energy, it was kind of like this. Look, it was kind of like, you know how you show up, like you get ready to go to a party, right? And you go to the party, you go to the get-together, and when you first get there, you don't really know nobody, right? You don't know anybody at the party. You kind of, checking things out. You see little groups together. Oh, how you doing? Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you. And then after a few minutes, the food tastes good, right? Okay. Conversations are good. Everybody kind of cool. Then you relax a little bit. That's how it was at Lumen Field yesterday. When they first got there, there's a lot of people that's kind of curious, right? And like, because the home record at home last season, it wasn't that great. There were some situations last season where the away team kind of felt like the home team, right? Buffalo Bills game, that was one of them, right? Yesterday, the 12s in the beginning was like, nice to meet you, I don't know what's going on. And as the game started to progress, you can see that energy come back. So as this team goes, the fans go. And when that energy starts going, you can start feeling the momentum. By the time it start getting close to halftime, you can feel like, okay, that's the Lumen Field that we used to. That's the 12s of the Seahawk fans that I'm used to. So it's like they say in the Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. Hey, Seahawks, do your thing on the field. Trust me, them 12s going to be ready in those stands. So my biggest takeaway, ultimate takeaway is I feel better about this team after the first preseason game. So, look, There's a lot that still needs to happen. We will probably see finally the starters next week as they get ready to play against the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is coming to town. And I'm curious, you can put it in the chat. What do you want to see? What is that one thing? Give me that one thing that you would like to see in order for your confidence to even go up further. Or maybe your confidence hasn't moved yet. The one thing I want to see, I just want to see, I want Sam Darnold to just come in and just make me say, you're safe, right? You know, relationship advice, one of the things that I've learned, especially ladies, they like to feel safe in a relationship. They want to feel security, right? Well, as a Seahawks fan and as a fan of this team, as a fan of this offense, I need Sam Darnold to make me feel secure. So I will look for a little bit of that next week, not too much. I'll look for a little bit more of that in game 3 when they go on the road. And I'm going to look for a lot of that game 1 against those Niners. And that's the thing about this team. They have to. It is very important that they start out fast. And because we're going to find out early. Those first 4 games of the season, it ain't no joke. Home against the Niners, on the road against the Steelers, back home against the Saints, and on the road Thursday Night Football against them Arizona Cardinals, who, by the way, don't sleep on them. They're not bad. So all in all, Seahawks are in a good place. I got one more takeaway, too. Why Mike McDonald always seems so serious all the time? Every time I see him, he just looks serious. I've only have a conversation with the guy twice in my life. Great dude, so I don't mean anything personal by this. But, hey, Mike McDonald, you probably say, hey, G, shut up. I got a job to do. I got things to do. I ain't got time to be smiling and kikiing to make you feel a certain type of way. But, hey, whatever you're doing, Mike McDonald, hey, man, I love what you're doing. I think last night, if we know Pete Carroll, like we all know him, we know of Pete Carroll, we know how he is, and we always know, always compete. Hey, did Pete Carroll want to win last night? You damn right he did. You damn right. You know Pete Carroll wanted to win that game last night. He wanted everything. When he missed when they got the field goal blocked by my man Jalen Gaines, Pete Carroll on the sideline goes, oh, hey, he wanted to win that game. But something tells me, again, like a higher power saying, listen, let's do the right thing. Let's just make this a tie. I didn't like the tie. You didn't like the tie. But I tell you what, give me the tie over a loss. Because if they would have lost that game, I would have felt a certain type of way. I think you would have felt a certain type of way. That whole narrative just wouldn't have felt good at all. So, listen, let's go. We're here now. The season is upon us. We're going to be coming to you every single week. I'm looking forward to Me-Bang getting back. And I can't wait. I can't wait to say to Me-Bang, now look at the wide receivers. You like them. Now, one thing, listen, y'all. I want to warn you guys about Bang. He does not sugarcoat it. He's not going to tell you what you want to hear. Here's someone who played in the league 13 years. He's extremely smart. And it's no secret, he's talked about this. You guys know that Me-Bang is dyslexic, right? Coming up, so he has a gift for just truly understanding this game. So sometimes he gonna say some things you might not want to hear. So I can't wait for him to see this offense, for him to finally give some credit where credit is due. So again, it's been fun. It's been real. See you guys next week. Of course, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, it's football season. Let's go. All right. Appreciate you rocking with me. Love you for that. Make sure you be kind. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. We got so much more going on in the Reset. We'll see you next week. Let's go.